All right, and we are live. Good evening to everyone. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Good evening, Sly. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, good evening dun sa, we have four viewers right now on the live. Magandang gabi. So please type in the comment section kung saan kayo nanonood so we can greet you guys, do some shout outs. And tonight, we've got a very special topic. This is actually part two. If you've been with us during our broadcast, during our time with the Mosaijan page last Sunday, this is actually the part two, and we're still discussing about NFTs. This is blockchain updates, a special edition broadcast for 111. Yes, and yun nga, how are you, Sly? Kamusta? What's up, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty busy. Pretty busy. So yeah.
Yep. Let's do this, bro. So, yeah, our topics for today will be covering mostly about NFT, NFT in education, NFT in the gaming side of it, the challenges of developers in the gaming
Right.
side, and of course, a little bit of price action also
Sure.
about the price movement. Why is the market seem to be going downturn right now, despite of all the despite of all the updates happening in the market. So yeah, let's do it, bro. Say hi to all of our viewers. And by the way, please don't forget to like and share this video and tag three of your friends para mapanood nila tayo. Sayang, no? So we will be discussing very, very important topic today. So yeah. And please stay tuned up to the end of the broadcast because we will be giving out some freebie. Well, just an announcement, no? So since today is special for me, personally, today is my birthday, so I'm giving away birthday gift to all our viewers. So tag nyo yung mga friends niyo so that they can actually try to grab our giveaway for today. We're giving out some freebie for this broadcast. By the way, this broadcast is brought to you by Bybit. If you don't have a Bybit account yet, please sign up using the link in the comment section. All right, so Sly, let's do this.
All right. So I think one of the things that we want to touch upon from the our last little video is basically we touched on a lot of projects dealing with NFTs into education system, which is basically probably going to become its own metaverse. But one of the things that we want to also touch upon is the idea of why do we see the crypto projects or the crypto market, the overall crypto market, um, why is it bare? Why are the prices going down and everyone's waiting? When is it going to get back up? When is it going to get back up? And the thing that I kind of want to discuss is not directly index funds, but it's the idea of crypto projects kind of like handling their own in-house funding or their own index fund. And I have sort of kind of like a little short little presentation on how it works to kind of explain why we're in this bearish market. So just give me a second here while I share my screen, okay?
Sure, bro. So yeah, well, Sly is pulling it off again to all our viewers right now. Yung mga nanonood sa atin, please stay tuned and please tag three of your friends para they get a chance to get of what we are about to give away. Meron tayong giveaway for this broadcast. So yeah, share away, yeah, tag your friends and let them know that we are doing this. Now, yan.
Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this as very simple as possible because I got a lot of private messages, people asking me, "Hey, what is the how do I understand this market? Why are the prices going low? When do I get back in? I don't know what's happening. I'm new." So one of the things that we kind of want to touch upon is kind of like how do crypto projects I guess act, or how do they operate a majority of the times, and how does
What are
that
the
action
dynamics, no? What are the
dynamics basically,
dynamics of crypto projects? Yeah.
right? So this is where we touch upon the idea now, not specifically, but the idea of basically a basically an index fund. So basically, what an index fund is, okay, it's kind of like a diversified portfolio. They use this in the traditional markets, but they actually have this for cryptos as well. Because when you look at cryptos on like a trading aspect, it kind of represents stock, but stock in this case is cryptocurrencies of particular blockchain projects. index funds are kind of like a way to say, hey, you have this much money. Instead of putting everything all in one basket, how about this? We look at all the cryptocurrencies that will perform using historical data, and we will divvy up your money into these particular crypto projects. That way, during certain market cycles, if you invest X amount, you know, you're guaranteed to earn this much at the end of a, let's say, a bull run cycle, something like that. So what we have basically is this: crypto projects. You can choose any crypto project out there. They usually maintain it through an in-house team of, let's say, traders or investors of some sort, or they hire another company to do so. But the point is, what they're basically doing is taking the money from the crypto project, not all of it, maybe a portion of, the funds of a crypto project, diversifying their portfolio, and when the time is right, they ride the markets up. Okay, so basically, what that means is, why is it that we have like bull cycles and bearish cycles? Is because money is coming into the market. When we look back at 2017, the overall market cap was about 1 trillion. Okay. Now, when we look at 2020, 2021, and even now, as it stands right now, the market is at, uh, if you round, it's about 2 trillion. At its peak, we were about 3.2 trillion dollars, like a crypto market. But right now we're at two. So what's happening? So when we look at this, um, general idea of what's happening is that projects
Like, kaya
are
nga,
removing
sorry to cut,
funds.
mabilis lang, no? Sorry
Yeah.
to cut. Tama. Compare it with 2017, we are
Mhm.
actually double yung ano natin, ano, yung market capitalization compared to the
Right.
bull run of 2017. But despite that, the people are wondering why is the market capitalization not influencing the price action, di
Right.
ba?
Because a lot of the money right now is being removed from the market. And whenever, like, institutional money is removed from the market, there's no way to move other altcoins or other projects up, because usually what there's a thing called a trade pair. So we see things like, and it's gone a lot further nowadays. Like, for example, you see, let's say, a Bitcoin USDT trade pair, Ethereum USDT trade pair. But at the same time, you start to see other, especially a lot like on the swaps now, like Sushi Swaps, Uniswap. They actually have it, kind of like a three-way trade kind of thing going on, like an arbitrage trade, dealing with three cryptocurrencies, because you have to sell off one cryptocurrency to get into another, and when you get to the second, cryptocurrency, you have to sell off to get into the third cryptocurrency. The point being is that money is moving around into performing assets or stable assets. So in a way, money is being removed from the market, okay? And because money is exiting the market, projects right now, in terms of, let's say, their cryptocurrency projects, their prices are going down because there's no new money entering the market to push the prices up. And this affects pretty much the entire crypto market. So that's why we're seeing a decline in prices. Again, this is just a generalization because it goes a lot more deeper than this. But just to help those who are new to cryptocurrency trading, when new money enters the market, that's where we start to see a rise in most or not all cryptocurrencies. When money starts getting removed from the market, we start to see basically the prices go down. Okay. And it's because projects out there need to pay for operational costs and pay bills and start, paying for the new projects, developers, so on and so forth. Okay. So that's that for, I guess, an indirect explanation of the index funds and why the market prices are going down right now. Okay.
Yeah, it actually make perfect sense, bro. Looking at the markets right now and seeing money going out for projects. Kasi 'di ba yun nga yung pinag-uusapan natin last Sunday, and we just tried to put it in a picture so that people will understand it. Kasi nga naman 'di ba, when we look at the market capitalization right now, even if it's kind of higher compared to the previous bull run, it still doesn't influence the market prices, basically because there's movement of funds from the
Exactly.
market, yeah, going to these projects. But still it's good because the when the project goes live, the project goes back to the market capitalization itself. But
Right.
apparently it's not enough. factors are not enough to drive the prices yet because most projects are still, well, at it's para kumbaga ato na baby pa eh. It's at its infancy.
Right.
So all of the market the market forces need to push it more or higher. So eto, well, guys, you just heard something that's kind of fundamental in a thing. So this is actually fundamentals for you. So if you're trying to understand bakit despite the fact that ang dami-daming balita, good news about crypto here, left and right, even governments like buying into it, adapting it, but yet it's not driving the prices simply because there are institutional traders or whales, sasabi natin, who has like interest or doing their own project and they're funding their projects, and the fund definitely drives the prices. Like it's not shorting, it's not, well, it's kind of shorting in a way, right? It's like parang shinort nila yung fund nila because their money goes out of the fund, eh. So something like that.
Well, here's it's you can one can say that it's shorting, but at the same time, let's look at it again. Let's just look at fundamentals for a bit. Why is it that when we look back historically, why is it that when a new project comes out, I can guarantee you now, if it started with an ICO, meaning people bought in as early, you start to notice once the project goes live, it gets listed on the exchange, we start to see like basically a cascading effect of, it starts off high and then it starts to sell off. That's one of the things that kind of happen is, okay, how did the project start off? Was it an ICO? Now you're starting to see that a lot of projects don't necessarily do ICOs because there's a lot of SEC issues with it now. So now they go to STOs and all these other abbreviated three-letter words. But what we're starting to notice now is the driver of the markets really is the investors and money coming into the projects itself directly. After that, it just becomes timing of the market. I believe a lot of crypto projects nowadays have gotten a lot smarter and stop releasing a lot of the things that we want for, let's say, a particular blockchain project to be released during a bear market. So that's the reason why we don't ever see updates during a bear market nowadays. We see all these beautiful updates, especially when we have a confirmed upcycle or kind of like a bull trend market. So as of right now, it's basically a power play by, you can call them the whales, the big investors, things like that. But at the same time, everything comes down to it's either money coming into the market or money leaving the market. So everything just comes down to money, basically, at this point.
All right. So it's actually when money is coming out, definitely prices goes down. Kasi nga
Yeah.
wala siya sa loob ng market, eh. So that's actually the most parang intellectually sound explanation of what's happening right now. Kasi it's like even the seasoned traders, they're actually having some like challenges in reading. Why is it so? Well, kanina nga during our one of my meetings, no, where we were trying to analyze markets, and we saw even for example SLP. Ang dami na niyang ang dami na niyang bullish divergence. Pag tinignan mo yung kanyang technical analysis, there's a
Hmm.
lot of bullish divergence happening right now. Pero alam mo yun, hindi siya sapat. It's not enough to actually drive the prices go up. So yun yung nagiging natin ngayon. Yun yung nagiging parang challenge for most people. Parang 'di ba? Hindi nila
Oh.
hindi nila maarok yung Tagalog. In deeper Tagalog, bro. Hindi nila maarok. What's this? What's this all about? Now, two things, no. Markets are driven not just by the supply and demand of the tokens inside the market, but also by the inflow and outflow of cash or equivalent value of cash, which is crypto. For example, in this case, in this crypto market, it's crypto. Now, maybe, just maybe, they're using their Ethereum, their Bitcoin to fund whatever projects that they have. So it's coming out of the market. So that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of sound. Now let's go back to the topic that we are discussing a while ago about NFT, about these projects happening right now in the market, no, in particular in the space of cryptocurrency. Maraming nangyayari ngayon, and one of the things that is happening right now is that NFT or blockchain per se is entering into the education sector. So for those of you who are watching us live, who is in the education side or education sector, this might be for you. Let us just first I'll ask Sly, tingin mo bakit nga ba sa tingin mo viable or bakit workable that blockchain be applied to education? What are the key factors of blockchain being useful for education?
Okay, so blockchain in education. Blockchain in education does a lot of things, especially for students who need to immerse themselves in, let's say, a new skill, a new technology, things like that. Because those, whether it be a vocational skill like learning how to cook a cake or bake a cake, or learning how to program in HTML or React, the idea is that when it comes to blockchain, it's a very immersive technology. Now, when we include blockchain, there's many aspects to it. You have financial, you have the programming aspect, and then you have basically the education, like just understanding how and what the blockchain is, right? So you have a lot of factors involved in terms of the education and how education that includes blockchain into their curriculum benefits the students. So yeah.
All right. So that's it, no, guys. If you listen to Sly, basically, since education is in need of like, okay, meron niyang may storage yan eh. Like, there's a storage for the data on the about the student, and then that data needs to be immutable or hindi mo pwedeng dayain dapat. Like grades, for example. This basic characteristic of blockchain also helps kasi you cannot tamper with blockchain, like for example, after taking an examination, the blockchain records that your grade is 75 or pasang awa. That if for example there's an alteration to that, the alteration is also recorded. Now if the alteration is justifiable or not is for regulators to see. Meaning, if for example I'm one of the regulator for the education blockchain, what I'm gonna do is to check, oh, valid ba na pinalitan ni Sly yung grade ni resistance trader from 75 biglang naging 95. How is that so? So there goes yung audit trail for this data in education is actually, well, auditable. I mean, like, it's highly auditable in the sense na education, yung mga educators or those who are in people who are involved in the education sector can actually have an easier life in terms of checking up papers, giving out grades, knowing kung sino yung ano diyan. Madaling malaman sa blockchain sino school bukol, right? Who's the school bukol here? They can easily know that through the blockchain. So that's actually the advantage of it. So yeah. So anyway, as we are discussing this one now, last Sunday we've discussed or pinag-usapan natin yung tungkol dun sa isang metaverse project that actually has yung parang meron na silang platform for learning English. Now, imagine that. By the way, for those of you who's not able to watch that broadcast, you can actually check out the Musaijan page, Musaijan.io page here in Facebook. Kami ni Sly, nandun din kami. We were the ones who actually discussed that. Now, yun nga, this review, yung letmespeak.org, the one that we've reviewed last Sunday, they created this metaverse. They created this parang platform where you can actually learn to earn. It's not play to earn. It's learn to earn cryptocurrency. How does that work? The learn to earn model that they are trying to foster is actually more of, if I am, for example, a learner of English language, kasi yun yung kanilang flagship service or flagship product right now. You can actually go inside their LMS or learning management system, navigate your way inside, play games, answer questions, attend trainings, and when you do so, you get a reward of earning their token or a cryptocurrency. Now, having said that, imagine if we do that, or we can do that in the mainstream education, wherein students will come into class, not necessarily crypto yung kanilang ma-earn, whatever value that token actually represents. You can actually have this kind of, pwede tayo magkaroon ng ganitong klase ng platform where in the mainstream education, students who come into class online, play the game, answer question, and then pass the examination, will earn a certain value in the ecosystem. Well, for the mainstream, it can be a grade, an honor student, and the honor student, they can actually exchange that for a badge. The badge can, well, there's a lot of possibilities. And education is but just one potential application. And yeah, the ang daming pwedeng gawin, 'di ba? Anyway, yun nga. And well, maybe you wanted to add more about education, Sly. Let me know.
Yeah, actually, I kind of want to add a little bit more to the education part. So, when we look at traditional education systems, especially when we look at something online, yeah, let's say a learning management online, the one of the things I know a lot of people have heard of is like, let's say Udemy, okay, and I'm starting to use this other thing called Domestika. The point is, whenever you sign up for these courses, the one thing that you get from these courses is that the lecturer or the professor teaching this particular course in Udemy, when you complete it, you get a certificate. Now, when you look at blockchain or NFTs or a metaverse being used in a system like education, you start to see the dots being connected. Where, okay, if I get a certificate from, let's say, Udemy, okay, how is it, how do you verify that it's not like a copy paste, I fabricated everything? But if you have it on blockchain, of course, it's verified by, let's say, Udemy. It's on, you know you completed the course, there's a smart contract to it, it's attached to your wallet address or your name or whatever. Okay, so it's the idea of um, using education to kind of verify that what you've learned and whatever certifications that you get, whether it be a badge, you can give this to, let's say, your employer, saying, hey, I am knowledgeable in this particular field or this particular skill. um, the other things that people can take away with including blockchain into, let's say, education, is the fact that um, when we look at how we grew up, let's say in school, whether it be public or private, the point is you're getting a grade, okay? But let's be honest right now, you know, depending on your parenting style, most kids, they want something, probably a toy, probably some money, but usually it's something where the student sees that there is value. Usually it's money, okay? So, getting good grades, you get X amount of money at the end of a quarter, so on and so forth. But a lot of parents can't just give their kids money. So why not create a incentivizing system of, okay, we give them cryptos, and these cryptos can be redeemed by, let's say, this particular education system for, let's say books, a shirt, maybe a vacation for your family or something. There's something redeemable about these cryptocurrencies when you earn them through an education course. So it's almost like it being an actual cryptocurrency, but more of a token that can be redeemed for something of value, but within the ecosystem of this particular education system. But it doesn't just stop there. I mean, if by implementing blockchain into an education system, basically the sky's the limit. Um, you can build, you know, NFT markets. You can do a lot of things when you include blockchain into an education system. But these are just a few examples. So yeah.
So basically, what we can see in the near future are, of course, applications that are we never thought possible. Akala kasi normally most people will think blockchain is sort of a kind of monetary, or it's fintech related to money. related to anything financial. But at this point in time, wherein the blockchain space is starting to evolve, there's a lot of potential and possibilities that could happen. Napakadaming pwedeng mangyari and there's a lot of applications out there. Even for example, well, next topic natin is about gaming, but right now, let's also talk about, for example, in the medical field din, 'di ba? Like record keeping, we see some blockchains are being developed for the medical field. Now, what does this tend to mean for investors or for early adapters? Well, we can consider that most people who will come in into the space right now, will you agree, Sly, that since most of the projects are in beta, in particular blockchain in beta, like the metaverse thing, even Facebook's own metaverse, they're still in beta, I would say. Hindi pa yan 100% up and they cannot still yet claim to fame that, yeah, we're 100% metaverse ready na. Like even Facebook or like, Yeah, sige, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. So, when we talk about businesses, the metaverse, NFTs, specifically, let's say a medical, you talked about medical and including blockchain in it. One of the things that usually come to mind is the idea of, let's say, supply chain. Supply chain is kind of important, and supply chain doesn't just stop at, like, let's say, logistics. I mean, every company that deals with, let's say, an actual object being used in their, let's say, facility, let's say a hospital. You have your medicines, you have your tools, your stethoscopes, things like that. Everything that you can find in a hospital. How does it get to you? Now, how do you verify that that item that your company bought is a legit product? Because using blockchain as a tool for um, supply chains, at least there is kind of like a digital paper trail in a sense that says, yes, you bought it from this manufacturer as agreed upon on the contract, because you paid X amount. Yeah, it came from here. Okay. And you can see the trail. Okay. So that's one thing. Now, when we look at cryptocurrency, when we look at let's say blockchains in the medical field, we can also look at the aspect of NFTs, because when you look at NFTs, now, I understand that there are, let's say, certain rules between doctor patient confidentiality, but there are ways where um, blockchain doesn't have to be public all the time. There are ways through programming in smart contracts to keep the data private, at least, let's say, in this particular um, hospital's database. Because when we look at NFTs, what it comes down to is what defines this particular token. Okay. Because an NFT is usually made up of the image and the attributes, meaning the data. Okay. So the metadata. So even though you might have a picture of, let's say, a patient, the data that defines that patient with that, let's say, NFT, can be placed into a centralized database. Okay. But what we're looking for is that um, this blockchain is just keeping out everybody else and only letting particular eyes see the data. Yeah. So it's still blockchain, it's still public, but there are ways to keep the information away from non um, from people who are not supposed to see the information, basically. Yeah. So there's a lot of implications in terms of blockchain, NFTs, and how it can actually um, basically obtain more investors, because this is a type of technology where um, I'm not saying that the sky's the limit. There's a lot of complexities to it, because there's a lot of do's and don'ts. You can't do this, but you can do that. So there's certain ways to get around it to make sure that at the final stages of, let's say, development of this project, you know, it will work or it won't. So that's the reason why a lot of investors are investing into a lot of these companies that that use blockchain, because they got to figure out, okay, this idea over here, they're doing this. Did it work? If it did, okay, we want to see how it works so we can apply it to our own company. If you look at this other if you look at this other company over here, they implemented blockchain, but it failed. At least now we have a case study saying, hey, through their example, we will no longer do it their way. we'll use a working example. So the idea right now is sort of a searching mechanism of what works in the market and what doesn't. So that's the reason why there's a lot of investors right now looking for projects um, that have a potential use case that will become successful. So that way they can expand, because a
Well,
lot of
speaking of
investors.
this, yeah, speaking of these projects, is like, no, so yeah, we're discussing projects left and right, investors shelling out money. Now, for our viewers who, well, ikaw personally, by the way, this is not a financial advice. We are just giving and airing out our opinions right now with in terms of what we think or feel about the space. So feel free to research or do your own research. But for Sly, for example, ikaw Sly, ano sa tingin mo yung ano what do you think will be for you, what's the best, well, what are the projects that you are looking into?
Okay, one of the biggest projects I'm looking into, I'm looking into the idea of the metaverse in terms of specifically real estate. There's something about real estate for some reason that is it's relatable, because when we look at value, the one thing that we look at sometimes is land, a house, something where people, where I'm using a term from Robert Kiyosaki here, but there's something that kind of like isn't is considered an asset. It makes money for you. It makes that passive income. Okay, why the metaverse? In the metaverse, there's no defined rules as of right now. The metaverse can be anything. However, the metaverse, depending on what the application is, will have a set of rules. But there is, you know, there could be a metaverse out there where you can build whatever you want. You can rent it out. Okay. I forget the name of the NFT game, but some guy created basically a repair shop in this particular metaverse. And he made a lot of money out of it, because in that particular metaverse, other people had houses and cars. And when their car broke down, they would go to his mechanic shop in the metaverse and pay him metaverse money. And he was making bank. So what I'm saying is the metaverse.
Anong metaverse to, bro, if you mind sharing? Like, I mean, like,
I
you're
forget.
looking,
I forget.
nakalimutan mo? Hmm.
Yeah, I forget, but the idea was it's the idea that you can build something on this particular metaverse land, and the person
Hindi
who
ba
did it.
Decentraland yan, bro? No, it's not.
I want to say it's Decentraland, but I remember that it's a 3D pixel art game, NFT art game.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so that's what the article basically said. How this guy made, like, he made a lot of money, because one of the things is, when we look at real estate and when we look at the metaverse, the real estate aspect is what is very relatable to everybody, because we look at appreciation of value over time. That's kind of how we think with cryptocurrencies. That's kind of how we think with NFTs. For example, you know, why would I buy um, this person's NFT, assuming that I have the money for it, when I can get a Bored Yacht 8 NFT, which is of high rarity? I know if I held on to that, it's going to be worth a lot more in the future. So there's this idea of appreciation of value, especially over a long period of time, especially when you hold it. So real estate really comes into mind right now, because that's how we look at kind of like the idea of land value. When you apply that same
Sige.
thought process to the metaverse,
Mm.
it's almost the exact same thing. And that's how most
Parang
people think.
sa ano rin ano, World Wide Web, no, there's parang in the World Wide Web yung domain parking is like a real estate of the World Wide Web.
Yeah,
Now in the
right.
Web 3.0, something like that. But you did not answer ano yung mga projects that you're looking at. But before you answer that,
Sandbox, sandbox,
yeah,
sandbox.
before we discuss more about that project that you're looking at, let's just take a very 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 quick break.
All right.
right, and that was a very, very quick break. So before we go back to the discussion, shout outs muna tayo. Let's go to the comment section and see who's watching with us. Yan, shout out. Oh, there's no, meron nanonood sa atin right now from the Resistance Trader TRT Guild of Axie Infinity Gaming. So si Billy Joe Kabanglan. Ayan, shout out sa'yo, idol. Marami siyang tinag. Sana makapanood din yung mga tinag niya. So keep on tagging your friends. By the way, we are giving out T-shirts right now after this broadcast. So pagkatapos ito, we'll be giving out a Bybit shirt. So this broadcast is actually sponsored by Bybit. Shout out to Bybit, of course, to our good friend Tim, Bybit Pilipinas. Shout out to you, bro. So and also, this is also in partnership with the Altash University. So if you guys wanted to learn about trading or anything about like blockchain developing, we've got courses in Altash University. You can go and try visit altash.university. Also, we're opening the course for the cryptocurrency market analytics. This is about trading. So if you guys wanted to learn how to trade, basics, foundation, how do you start trading? What do you need to do? Can enroll in our course there, right, Sly? So yeah, let's go back and ask again, Sly, this question. Sly, ano nga ulit yung project that you're looking at?
Okay, so if you share my screen right now, so I found the article and the let me see. How do I share this? Okay. Okay, cool. So this is the article that I found. So the NFT earns about 100,000 in 6 months for owning a bank repair shop in the metaverse. So the name of this game is actually called Polka City. Okay, so this is the article right here. Now, when you look at Polka City, I'm like, okay, how did the guy do it? So I'm thinking, okay, so there's a lot of you. If you go to their marketplace, there's like a lot of utilities, cars, things that you can buy. Right here, you can buy a bank. You probably have to get their Polka City token. It
This is the
says
actual game, Poca City.
yeah,
Poca
according
City.
to the article. According to this article, so the guy, I guess, in this particular metaverse, he bought a utility type of. He bought land that had utility, and he basically, again, like it says in the article, he owned a bank and he did a repair shop. So when you look at it in terms of real estate, this um, this land, we'll call it, is an asset. It was given him money somehow. Okay. Now I don't not understand the true gameplay mechanics of this particular metaverse, but when you start looking at, let's say, these utility things, or these assets that in the real world, when you look at a gas station or a repair shop, I mean that's money coming in, right? Even a bank. If you're using a bank, if you have millions of users using the bank, the money kind of starts to add up and becomes revenue. So same thing with the repair shop. So that's why I'm saying that when I look at NFT projects, again, I'm still a big fan of the sandbox. I really am, because I can design my own land. And if there's someone out there that says, hey, can you design me a land with this, this, and this? Can you make it a forest jungle with this and that? I'll say, okay, let me take a look at it. And if I can build it, I will sell it to you for this much. Okay. Because when you look at land, it really becomes more imaginative versus, okay, maybe, a sword, armor set, shoes, a bag. But when you talk about land and you can build something on this virtual land, this metaverse, it becomes so imaginative. The sky's the limit. On top of that, reason why I'm still a fan with Sandbox is because if you use their Vox editor, you can actually design whatever you want as long as you have the skills to make it. Okay. So again, for me, it's going to be real estate NFT games, and I will still always be a fan of the Sandbox. So yeah.
All right, right. Yeah, yeah. But you're also looking at this project Polka City, right?
I'm looking at it, but it's not my cup of tea. I kind of want to. I want those projects where I can build. So again, Sandbox. Sandbox is one of
Sandbox.
them. Yep.
So Sandbox is one of the projects that you're looking at. Anyway, guys, just a disclaimer, no. This is not a financial advice, and whatever we are discussing here is purely our opinion about the NFT space. So, but yeah, before we continue, by the way, let's highlight this one. No? Shout out kay Vin James Musa. Sabi niya, happy birthday daw. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the greeting. Vin James Musa has been with us, no, one of our community members in the Resistance Trader. Also enrolled, graduate din niya ng Altas University. So, yeah. Then, by the way, just a quick announcement before we continue. We will be having our raffle before the end of this broadcast. Magpa-raffle tayo. And again, we're giving out, thanks to our sponsor, Bybit, we're giving out Bybit shirt. So, meron mamaya, before the end of broadcast, sasabihin namin, how are you to win? Paano kayo mananalo? Paano nyo makukuha yung aming bimimigay na Bybit shirt for this segment? So, stay tuned lang kayo. Yan, and shout out again kay si Jan Jan. Thank you Jan Jan. Happy birthday daw. So, yeah, thank you very much. So, this is a special broadcast for 111. This is part 2. Kasi nabiting kami ni Sly dun sa kwentuhan namin last Sunday. So, we wanted to actually continue on that topic. So, for you who were not able to watch our broadcast in musaijan.io, you can check out our broadcast. Medyo mahaba yung kwentuhan namin. This is a continuation. And with that, let's go back. It's like, what do you think of other projects? Like, for example, sa games. Like, are you a fan of, well, huwag na natin pag-usapan si Axie Infinity. Aside from Axie Infinity, Decentraland is for the real estate kind of thing. Aside from
Yeah.
Axie Infinity, all of us are fan of Axie Infinity. Shout out to our partners, friends, di ba? On the communities of Axie Infinity. Okay na yan. Aside from Axie, ano pa yung mga game naman? Like laro, Morph G, whatever, card game that you are
I,
looking at or a fan of.
I would say I think Gods Unchained would be the next best one because the mechanics are pretty simple and easy to use.
Nilaro mo na
Um,
ba yun? Naglaro ka na ng Gods Unchained?
yeah. However, I'm playing as free.
That's okay. It's free to play.
um,
By the way, Gods Unchained is free to play. So I'm also playing Gods Unchained. You can actually earn averaging mga 8, depende sa galing mo, 8 to 10 Gods token per week hanggang April. Yun na, meron silang airdrop. So if you're playing the game, if you actually complete an X amount of playing airtime, or airtime of playing it, you actually get their gods token for free. Like, yeah, you earn. Tapos yung sinasabi ni Sly na pangalan nito na game, si Gods Unchained, you can also earn from that if you actually get to mayroon kasing collectible yan eh. Once you finish a stage, you get to open a card pack. Card packs sometimes have rare items. You can combine that. Like meaning you can upgrade your card into a sellable, pwedeng ibenta. A card that you can actually mint and sell in they're using right now IMX or Immutable X Marketplace. So, yun yung isa pang pwedeng income stream dito. Aside from earning the Gods token, when you play the game, you also get to have card packs, and those cards are actually valued X amount. Kaya lang right now, their marketplace is a bit chaotic. Iba-iba pa yung presyo, hindi siya kagaya ng well, again, let's go back to Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity somehow was there's an unwritten cookbook already in doing your prices for NFTs in Axie Infinity. Kumbaga,
is that the
although,
win
yeah,
trade?
oo. Kumbaga, kasi marami na nandun sa marketplace. So the marketplace also already balances off itself. Hindi ka pwede mag super overprice or else walang bibili ng NFT mo. Gets. So yeah,
Mm,
in Gods Unchained medyo I think it's with the community behind it, bro. So
mm,
we need to, promote it. Yeah, no, promote namin. Yeah, play Gods Unchained, guys, because this is actually free to play. It's free to play.
mm.
You don't need to actually shell out any amount. Now we will type in the comment section later the link where you can actually join Gods Unchained. Yeah. So yun. Ano pa, bro? What else can we before we actually wrap up our broadcast? Ano pa yung mga pwede nating
There,
pwede pa
I was approached by one of my friends regarding this thing called the coin is called like Bomber Coin, but when you look at the NFT gameplay, it's a lot like Bomberman.
Yeah, parehas
However,
kay ni Livy. She's also looking into that. Shout out kay Livy. I know she's watching. Livy is actually playing yeah, the bomber thing. So yeah, there are a lot of people interested in that game too. So yeah,
oh,
good thing.
Bomb
Good thing.
Crypto. It's called Bomb Crypto.
Bomb
So
crypto. Bomb
yeah,
crypto.
So I'm looking into that. I was approached it, but the way it's done is that to obtain the coin you have to go through Pancake Swap. So again, just keep in mind, guys, there is a pretty high fee if you're trying to switch out from one particular cryptocurrency like BNB to get Bitcoin. So little amounts, you don't need a lot to play, but it's from the gameplay that I saw my friend show me, it's actually pretty interesting. So it's kind of like an arena match thing. I suggest look into it, and if it resonates with you guys, I say play it, man. Again, look at NFTs as a way of don't worry about grinding. If you like it, and it's something where you can really kill time, but at the same time get incentives like Bitcoin or God token. Just stick to that philosophy. Don't just grind to grind because you need more coins. Do it because it's fun. Yeah,
Yep,
that's why I like
that's
the
the key
sandbox. I
for NFT gaming, bro. Do it because it's fun, right?
Yeah, that's it. Because you can waste an entire day with a really fun game and not realize, oh my god, I collected all these tokens. Wow.
Exactly, exactly. Now, before we actually wrap up our broadcast, this pointed time will be wrapping up. But before that, sino dito gusto ng raffle? Please type one in the comment section. Oh, I can see four people in the broadcast, may mga nanonood sa live natin. Sino gusto makakuha nung paparaffle nating item for tonight? Please type one in the comment section. Pag walang nag-type, hindi kami magpaparaffle. Joke lang. Type one in the comment section. Dali, let's see, let's see. Let's see you guys type in the comment section. Yan. Siyempre ako gusto ko rin magkaroon ng raffle, di ba? Type 1, 1, 1. Yan, si Bonjour, sabi niya 1. Anyway, yeah. Thank you guys. Keep it coming. Yeah, those who wanted to have a shirt, si Bonjour is also part of the TRT Guild, Axie Infinity Gaming. So yeah, isa sa mga scholars natin yan si Bonjour. Shout out kay Bonjour. So yes, eto ang kailangan ninyong gawin. Those who wanted to have their a shirt of Bybit kasi this is sponsored by Bybit, you need to do three things. Ita-type ko ngayon sa comment section kung ano ang gagawin ninyo. Number one, you have to actually join the Bybit community. So, ang hindi automatic na mananalo yung ano natin ngayon ha. Ira-raffle natin ngayon. Merong apat na mapipili by doing the mechanics of Bybit kasi kailangan nating i-promote si Bybit, 'di ba? So ang number one is you actually need to join the Bybit community, Telegram community. Then also join, of course, the Resistance Trader community. Join the Bybit community, then the Resistance Trader community, and then you need to actually like and share this broadcast. Tapos yeah, like and share this broadcast. Like and share this broadcast and then send a screenshot on the Resistance Trader page. So yan yung mga mechanics. Again, let us repeat that. Number one, you have to join the Bybit Telegram community. Number two, you have to join, of course, the Resistance Trader Telegram community. Number three, you have to like, share, and yeah, tag three of your friends sa itong broadcast na to. And once you've done that, send a screenshot to this page, the Resistance Trader, para mapili namin yung apat na mananalo. But we are giving out one for free dun sa mga nasa live natin ngayon. Kung meron nasa live pa ngayon, ito yung question natin. 'Di ba? Kanina yung mga nanonood, so kaya kailangan nandito ka from the beginning up to the end of the broadcast para ikaw ang mapili namin na mananalo ng shirt. So ano yung ano natin? Ano yung question natin? We have a question. Kung nandito kayo kanina, nanonood ng broadcast namin, merong pinlash na game si Sly. Okay, may pinlash na game si Sly. And what you need to do is to actually type in the comment section ano yung game na yon, yung kanyang type ninyo pag sinabi naming go. So yung mga nandyan nasa live pa, type in the comment section ano yung game na pinlash ni Sly sa screen kanina. Meron na ba sumagot? Meron na, Sly? May sumagot na?
Wala pa. Hold on.
Yan. Again, three things to join Bybit Telegram community, join the Resistance Trader Telegram community, like, share, and tag three of your friends in this broadcast. Wala, like, share, and tag three of your friends in this broadcast. Ibig sabihin, kailangan nyo i-tag, i-like, i-share ninyo sa news feeds ninyo yung broadcast na to, and then tag three of your friends. Yan. So, we will choose 4 people. Kailangan ninyo mag-message sa Resistance Trader community. Yan, may nakita ko nag-comment. Sino yung nag-comment? Meron na, meron na. Wala pa
Still not.
nag-comment. So, yan. This is the mechanics pala. Join Bybit community, like, share, and tag three of your friends in this broadcast. Ayan. Yan yung mechanics for the ano. Walang magta-type. Going once, going twice. Wala.
I
Mukhang,
I
I think they are
I
not
think
able to
no, it's fine because
flash it ulit very
what
quick. Flash it very quick kasi meron tayong 6 na nasa broadcast ngayon. Flash it very quick, paunahan na lang. Flash
hold
it
on.
very quick, type it in the comment section.
Okay, hold on.
Para malaman na. Flash natin. Para may ano,
Yun.
let's give.
Teka,
Let's
teka, 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 teka.
Bybit gave us t-shirts. So,
Okay,
i-edit
here we
natin
go, here we
yan.
go, here we go. Sharing screen now. Okay, okay. So if we can
Very
just
quick, ha? Very quick.
flash the share. Upper left, guys. Upper left. Boom. Okay, exit, exit,
Boom.
exit.
1, 2, 3. Oh,
Ah!
okay.
Oh,
1, 2, 3. Okay, sino na? Sino pa nanonood dyan? Type in the comment section. Anong game daw yun? Parang ano eh. Ano ba yun? Polka dot ba yun, Brad?
I think so.
Ewan
I
ko.
think so.
Polka dot eh. Hindi polka dot yun. Ayan, tingnan natin. Meron pa 5 na nandun sa broadcast eh.
Ayun, meron
Ayun!
na.
Meron na nanalo. So,
Uh,
ayan. Flash natin sa screen para for audit purpose.
audit purposes.
Si team ng Bybit Pilipinas manonood sa replay yan. Bro, may nanalo ha, legit. Polka City. Bonjour. Bonjour. Kahit na ikaw ang nanalo, you still need to join. Please join the Bybit Telegram community. Yan. Para support natin kay paring ano yan. Paring team ng Bybit. Alright? So, that's it for today. No, quick announcement. By the way, speaking of Bybit, please support yung mga students dyan ni Coach Jonathan Tinoco. Kung meron dito mga nanonood na students ni Coach Jonathan Tinoco, please don't forget there's a Bybit join the Bybit masterclass happening this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. You can check the details on musaigen.io page. Ayan. Thank you very much. And with that, we would like to say see you again next time. Mabuhay. Happy New Year to everyone. Yeah, let's start 2022 with the blast. See ya.
All right, guys. Have fun with the NFT games.
Yep.